Sarah Martinez worked as a janitor at the New Angeles spaceport. Every night, she cleaned the massive halls where ships from 100 different worlds landed and took off. She had seen many aliens in her 3 years working there. Some looked like walking trees. Others floated like jellyfish made of light. But she had never seen one cry before tonight. The small creature crashed into her legs while she was mopping the floor near Gate 47. It was about the size of a human 5-year-old, with smooth purple skin that shimmered like oil on water. Her arms wrapped around her knees as the child made sounds that could only be sobs. Its large golden eyes leaked silver tears that sparkled as they fell. Sarah dropped her mop immediately. Her mother's instincts kicked in before her brain could catch up. She knelt down and gently touched the child's head, which was covered in soft feathers instead of hair. "Hey there, little one. What's wrong?" She spoke softly, not knowing if the child could understand her. Most aliens at the spaceport had translation devices, but this child seemed too young. The alien child looked up at her with those huge golden eyes and made a warbling sound. Then, to Sarah's surprise, it spoke in broken English. "Bad ones, take parent. Hide me. Please." Sarah's heart broke. She looked around the nearly empty corridor. It was past midnight, and only a few maintenance workers were around. No security guards were in sight. The child was trembling now, its purple skin flickering between different shades like a mood ring. "Come here," Sarah said, opening her arms. The child practically flew into them, all 4 arms wrapping around her neck. It weighed almost nothing, like holding a bundle of warm feathers. Sarah stood up, holding the child close. She needed to find security, but something made her hesitate. The child had said bad ones took its parent. What if the bad ones were still around? What if they were looking for the child? She decided to take the child to the janitor's break room first. It was small and out of the way. She could calm the child down and figure out what to do next. As she walked, she noticed the child's skin had turned almost black, blending with her dark blue janitor uniform. Some kind of camouflage ability, she realized. In the break room, Sarah sat on the worn couch with the child in her lap. She grabbed a bottle of water from the mini fridge and offered it to the child, who sniffed it carefully before taking a small sip. "What's your name?" Sarah asked gently. The child made a series of musical sounds, then seemed to think. You say. "Zix." "Close enough." "Okay, Zix. I'm Sarah. Can you tell me what happened to your parent?" Zix's golden eyes filled with more silver tears. "We come for trade meeting. Parent is important. Very important. Bad aliens wait in dock. They shoot sleep beam. Take parent away. I run. Parent tell me run and hide with humans. Say humans good. Humans help." Sarah felt anger rise in her chest. Kidnapping? Here at the spaceport? How was that possible with all the security? Did you see what kind of aliens took your parent? Zix shuddered. Gorvax. Big. Gray. Many teeth. They want credits. Lots of credits. Sarah had heard of Gorvax. They were known troublemakers, banned from many systems for piracy and worse. But how did they get into the spaceport? A loud bang made both of them jump. Someone was trying to force open the break room door. Sarah's blood ran cold. She grabbed Zix and looked around desperately. There was a supply closet in the corner. "Hide in there," she whispered urgently. "Don't make a sound." Zix's skin turned pitch black as the child scurried into the closet. Sarah closed the door just as the break room door burst open. 3 Gorvax stomped in. They were exactly as Zix described, 7 feet tall, gray-skinned, with mouths full of sharp teeth. They wore military-style armor and carried weapons Sarah didn't recognize. "Human," the lead Gorvok growled. "We track child here. Purple child. You see? Sarah forced herself to stay calm. She picked up her mop, trying to look busy. I haven't seen any children. This area is restricted to staff only. The Gorvok's small red eyes narrowed. You lie. Tracker says child here. He pulled out a device that was beeping steadily. Sarah's mind raced. They were tracking Zix somehow. She needed to buy time or create a distraction. Maybe your tracker is broken, she said, moving slightly to block the closet. This is just a break room. No children allowed in the spaceport after 10 p.m. It's the rules. The second Gorvok laughed, a sound like grinding metal. Rules. Humans always talk about rules. We make our own rules. The lead Gorvok raised his weapon. Move aside, human. We check closet. Sarah gripped her mop tighter. She was just a janitor, a single mom who worked nights to pay for her daughter's college. She wasn't a hero. But she thought of Zix's terrified golden eyes, of a child asking for help. No, she said firmly. The Gorvaks seemed surprised. The lead one tilted his head. You protect child? Why? Not your species. Not your problem. A child asked for my help, Sarah said. That makes it my problem. The third Gorvok, who had been silent, suddenly spoke. Kill her. Take child. We waste time. Sarah's hands shook, but she didn't move. She thought of her own daughter, safe at home. Every child deserved someone to stand up for them. The lead Gorvok aimed his weapon at her chest. Last chance, human. Move. No. The weapon whined as it powered up. Sarah closed her eyes, hoping her daughter would understand why she couldn't just step aside. A new voice cut through the tension. I believe you gentlemen are in a restricted area. Sarah opened her eyes to see Commander Torres, the head of spaceport security, standing in the doorway. Behind him were 6 armed guards, weapons drawn. The Gorvak spun around, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. The lead one lowered his weapon slowly. Just business, he growled. Looking for something we lost. The only thing you've lost is your landing privileges, Torres said coldly. Drop your weapons. You're under arrest for breaking into a restricted area and threatening spaceport staff. As the guards moved in to arrest the Gorvaks, Torres walked over to Sarah. You okay, Martinez? Sarah nodded, her legs feeling like jelly. There's a child in the closet. The Gorvaks were after them. They said they kidnapped the child's parent. Torres's expression darkened. A kidnapping? Here? He spoke into his comm unit, ordering teams to search all Gorvok ships immediately. Sarah opened the closet door. Zix was curled up in the corner, skin still jet black. It's okay, she said softly. The bad ones are gone. You're safe now. Zix slowly uncurled and reached for her. Sarah picked up the child, who immediately buried their face in her shoulder. Torres's comm unit crackled. Sir, we found someone on the Gorvok freight ship. Purple-skinned alien, unconscious but alive. Ship was prepped for immediate departure. Get them to medical bay immediately, Torres ordered. He looked at Zix. I think we found your parent, little one. Zix's head shot up, golden eyes wide with hope. Parent? Parent okay? We're taking them to our doctors right now, Torres assured the child. He looked at Sarah with respect. You did a brave thing, Martinez. Stupid, but brave. Those Gorvaks would have killed you. I couldn't just let them take a child, Sarah said simply. Torres nodded. I'll need a full statement from both of you. But, first, let's reunite this little one with their parent. As they walked toward the medical bay, Zix clung to Sarah, chattering in a mix of their musical language and broken English. Sarah found herself smiling despite the night's terror. She was just a janitor, but tonight, she had made a difference. The medical bay was bright and sterile. On one of the beds lay an adult version of Zix, same purple skin, same golden eyes, but wearing elaborate robes decorated with strange symbols. The adult was just waking up as they entered. "Parent!" Zix cried, squirming out of Sarah's arms and running to the bed. The adult alien sat up quickly, catching Zix in all four arms. They held the child close, making the same warbling sounds Zix had made when crying. Then, the adult looked at Sarah, and she was surprised to see a translation device activate on their collar. "You saved my child," the alien said, their voice melodious even through the translator. "I am in your debt, human. I am Valrix, and this is my offspring, Zixara." "I just did what anyone would do," Sarah said, feeling uncomfortable with the gratitude. "No," Valrix said firmly. "The Gorvax told me they would sell Zixara to the slave markets. You risked your life for a child not of your species. This is not what anyone would do." Commander Torres cleared his throat. "Ms. Martinez, I think there's something you should know. I ran a check on our guests while you were on your way here." He looked at Valrix. "May I?" Valrix nodded regally. Torres turned back to Sarah. "Valrix isn't just any traitor. They're the ruler of the Zirian Empire, one of the most powerful governments in the Galactic Council. Zixara is the heir to the throne." Sarah felt her knees go weak. She had saved alien royalty? I didn't know. "And that makes your actions even more noble," Valrix said. "You saved Zixara not for reward or recognition, but because it was right." The Emperor stood, still holding Zixara, and approached Sarah. "Name your reward." "Anything within my power to grant." Sarah shook her head. "I don't want a reward. I'm just glad Zixara is safe." Valrix studied her with those golden eyes. "You work as a cleaner in this spaceport. You have a child of your own, I can smell her scent on you. Yet you ask for nothing?" "I have everything I need," Sarah said, though she thought of her daughter's college bills, the leaky roof on their apartment, the second job she was considering taking. Zixara wiggled out of Valrix's arms and ran back to Sarah, hugging her legs. "Sarah saved me. Sarah is hero." Valrix's expression softened. "My child has excellent judgment." "Very well, Sarah of Earth. You may refuse reward, but I cannot ignore such a debt." The Emperor pulled out a small device and spoke into it in their musical language. "What are you doing?" Sarah asked nervously. "Making you an honorary citizen of the Zirian Empire," Valrix said. "With all the privileges that entails. Your daughter's education will be fully funded at any institution in the galaxy. You will have access to Zirian medical care, which I believe you humans would find quite advanced. And, should you ever wish to leave this job, there will always be a position for you in my household." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. That's too much." "It's not enough," Valrix said firmly. "But it's a start." The Emperor knelt down to Zixara's level. "Say goodbye to Sarah for now, little star. We must return home and deal with those who betrayed our location to the Gorvax." Zixara hugged Sarah one more time. "Thank you, Sarah. You best human. I come visit?" "Anytime," Sarah said, ruffling the child's feathered head. As the royal pair left with their guards, Commander Torres shook his head in amazement. "In 20 years of security work, I've never seen anything like this. You know what this means, right? The Zirian Empire is one of our biggest trading partners. You just prevented a galactic incident." Sarah picked up her mop, which someone had brought from the break room. "I should finish my shift. The floors won't clean themselves." Torres laughed. "Martinez, I don't think you understand. The Emperor of Ziria just made you nobility. You don't have to clean floors anymore." Sarah thought about it for a moment, then shrugged. "I like my job. Besides, someone needs to keep this place clean for all the visitors. Even crying alien children who turn out to be royalty." She headed back to Gate 47, mop in hand. Tomorrow, everything would change. Her daughter would be able to go to any university she wanted. They could move to a better apartment. Maybe Sarah would take some classes herself. But, tonight, she had floors to finish mopping. And, somehow, that simple, ordinary task felt perfect after such an extraordinary adventure. As she worked, she found herself humming and smiling. She was still just Sarah Martinez, janitor at the New Angeles spaceport. But now she was also Sarah Martinez, protector of alien children, honorary Xerian noble, and, apparently, accidental hero. Not bad for a night's work.